So for the first things is that I really hate these lead sheets out of the real book because they often like lay them out in a weird way, like exactly like this. Like to me, it doesn't make any sense to lay this out this way, three measures on a line, because none of the phrases are 3 measures long.
Right.
They're all 4 measures long.
Yeah.
And they were just trying to take up space on this page. So sometimes, and to me, like it throws me off if I'm reading this and I look at this, I'm like, okay, it's a 3-measure phrase. But like, oh no, it's not, because it's 4 and 4 and 4. It's a 12 measure form. So sometimes like I like to not have my students ever use the real book. And just go right to recordings and try to learn stuff as best you can. Like use it as a reference. Like I can't figure this chord out, whatever. Look at it and figure out what it's supposed to be, but not relying only on this, because sometimes the visual thing kind of screws us up.
Yeah, and trying to get past that and use more of the oral techniques of listening.
Right.
That's transcriptions at its basis is listening to something and replicating it. So.
Right. All right. Well, let's play this. So let's. I'll play some sort of accompaniment.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
So you working on like this tempo.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Cool. 1, 2, Great. Okay, so first things first, let's get a metronome out so we can be comfortable playing with one another.
One thing through listening with the YouTube series is you talk about drones very consistently, and that's something that I've really tried to work on in both warm-ups and just everyday practice sessions, but especially with standards like this, using backing tracks. So I wanted to know, do you tend to use, like when you're practicing standards or whatever, are you using a backing track that you find useful online, or do you create your own, or is that?
I mean, I've done both. I use the Jamie Aebersold, play-alongs.
Yeah.
But to me, those are for like playing, like, and I don't know, maybe it doesn't make sense, but like, because that's not really a practicing tool to me. That's like once you've practiced a tune, then you can go and play it as if it were a live gig, or so you're playing over the tune and just kind of making music at that point, rather than like practicing. Because when I used to practice, like when I was in high school, like just turn it on and I'm like, oh, I played through Solar 17 times today, so I practiced,
but just
like,
rewinded it.
But I didn't actually like dig in and kind of work on anything. So for me, like I like to do a few things when I'm learning and working on a tune. One is which is be able to just play with a metronome, kind of learn to play it on piano, be able to improvise like a bass line on the trombone, and improvise like just quarter notes, just half notes, just whole notes, kind of going through the changes just to kind of like eliminate some of the melodic variables. So just thinking, okay, all I'm thinking about is what notes to play, and I'm going to play quarter notes. So something else about this that, it's like sometimes, like most of the time I feel like this chord, both these chords are in this measure. Like it's 3 bars of C minor.
Okay.
And then the 2-5 happens in the last measure. 2-5 to F. 2-5. Yeah, if you go and listen to the original Miles Davis, you might come to the same conclusion.
Yeah, and also listening to other recordings, not only with Miles, but even trombone players playing it. There's also, like you were saying, you don't recommend reading it right from here, rather listening to it, because sometimes even just in the melody its own, there's, they might do a turn just even in the head that's not, this is how you play it straight down.
Totally.
Bump that on accident.
All right, let's try again. So let's do the melody once, and I want you to improvise.
Okay.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. it'll just kind of keep us in that, you know, more of a jazz mentality than to, you know. So that's 2 and 4, so it's 4. Now I'm all off. And just imagining that's the hi-hat, you know?
Ah.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, Okay, cool. So I think it's really confusing. Like the way looking at this is just really confusing because it doesn't match up. What you're looking at doesn't match it up with what
You're
hearing and playing.
Yeah,
So if you want to read it, I would rewrite it. So it's
Rewrite
like
it, yeah.
4 bars on each line. I know it seems silly, but it's like such a small detail, but all those things kind of, at least for me, really mess me up when my eyes and my ears don't match what's happening. So,
right.
So it's that, because like we want to phrase, you know, this stuff together and be able to like see the 4-bar phrases and lead into the 4 bars and see where the harmony is leading, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like a blues, right? 1 and then 2 5 to 4.
Yeah.
And then just instead of going 2 5 1 at the end, it does this little other thing there at the end. But
so writing it out more and thinking
in 4-bar phrases is gonna be helpful, and just thinking about like always leading to the next place. So turn this on for you have a reference. So always thinking about like the 5 chord leading to the next landing point. So landing on the 4 chord, landing on this E flat, landing on this D flat, and then landing on the top again. So then I'll try to demonstrate what I mean. So 1, 2, just kind of leading all the time to the
yeah, especially with the phrasing.